Anin Bojo, good morning, everyone. Ginumi Gwandigo. My spirit name is Liz Ozalmik, and I'm originally from Weequampong on Manitoulin Island, but I reside in Nogojuanang territory, which is near Peterborough. I'm grateful to be here today, and I'm grateful to have given some tobacco here. Tobacco is one of our medicines that grows naturally on Mother Earth. And so I'm grateful that it was presented in a good way to give, just to set this day in a good way. So every nation was given a language to use. And so my language is Anishinaabe. I am from Manitoulin Island of the Ojibwe and the Odawa Nation. And so I give thanks, and I'll be giving thanks in my language and just to greet. And so that way you could have a good year to start off in a good way. And so I'd like to open up with that, and I'll share a song. So miigwech geshemnedo. Kin kenegego gashit toin mampia king, miigwech geshemnedo, miigwech mishomis gizis, minoa nokmis debik gizis. Miigwech niwing nikia, wabanong, jawanong, epangishmak minoa giwetnong. Miigwech ndana, ge shkakmakwe, kenegego eshe miigwet ge ensigishgak. Miigwech kenegoya mampia yaik, economag sa jek mampi OCAD ishnakadek, chikenomag egamgong. Miigwech ndinak, niwing nikia, wesiak, enadmage jek, udenikia giwe, wabanong, megase, jawanong, wawashkesh, minwa epangishmak, nimki benesik, minage, udenikia, wapshkimakwa giwetnong, miigwech ndikit. Miigwet bangi winishnaabe mia nga ankanotan kakinya minosh kinagwaya jimnendog sit mampinangwa. So I just wanted to say, I wanted to acknowledge our Creator, Geshem Nedo, for everything that was created here on earth. I'd like to say miigwech to the four directions of the universe. We acknowledge in the east, we have, the animals that were here before us. We always acknowledge in the Ojibwe culture, we have four animals that we place and we highly regard each of those animals. So in the east, we acknowledge the eagle. The eagle is the bird that flies the highest. And so he is like our messenger to the Creator. And so we acknowledge the gifts that he brings to Native people. And one of the gifts that is what you see in my hand here is the eagle feather. And it is one of the highest gifts that one can receive when we get a feather. And to the south, we acknowledge the deer. The deer is the one that feeds us, clothes us. And so we acknowledge that deer because he shows us gentleness. He gave up his life so that way we can eat, and also to the skin that we get from him, and fur, on my hand drum, we get the hide and we're able to use, we have our own music using the hide from that deer. In the West, we acknowledge the thunder beings, the thunder that brings that rain to cleanse the earth. We need the earth to be cleansed. And so that water that brings the earth to, so that our medicines and all our plants can grow. And so we acknowledge that rainwater. We appreciate that rain because in the world there's not enough water in the world that they have to drive quite a bit of ways to get the water. In the north, we acknowledge that bear, that white bear. We get medicine from that bear. And we also get strength and healing. And so we acknowledge the bear. We acknowledge our grandfather sun for shining on us on each and every day. So even if you go through a hard time each day, sometimes we don't want to wake up, you got to think the sun comes up every day. So whatever happened yesterday, just let it go and then continue. And you just got to remember life continues. So many times we lose our loved ones, and we got to continue to live each and every day to the best, to the fullest. And so we say miigwech to our grandmother moon. Our grandmother moon is the one that regulates all the water in the world. She is the one that regulates the women every 28 days, going through that cycle. So we honor and give thanks to her. And I know a lot of you may be away from home, and you just got to remember, just go outside. Go look at the sun, look at the moon. The moon comes up every month. And just look at her. Think of your grandmother. We wouldn't be here today. We think of those ones that, your parents, your grandparents, your great-grandparents. You're here today because of them. And so do the best you can each and every day. Think of, you're living and you're working, you want to make them proud. So I want to say miigwech. And we thank the star realm, to all the stars, our ancestors. We acknowledge our mother, the earth, for everything that she provides, for all the food, for all the medicines, to all the trees that give, the sap water. If you have a chance in the springtime, to have that sap water, have that, because that's medicine for us. And so I want to say miigwech to all of you that are here this morning, and I'm going to end off with a song. So I want to say miigwech and have a great day today. Miigwech. So that song just saying good morning. Good morning, everyone. We thank all of creation. We thank the Creator for everything that is provided for us each and every day. So, Jimmy Wedge, have a great day.
Miigwech Elder Aswamik. Please welcome your President and Vice Chancellor, Anna Serrano.
Thank you, Brent, and thank you, Elder Liz. That brought chills up my spine. Your voice was beautiful and really set the stage for today, so thank you so much. And thank you, everyone who made this event possible, including a big thank you to Brent Everett James, woo! Yes. The Campus Life team, the orientation program leads, team captains, members of the Welcome Squad, the Welcome Volunteers, the AV and Events team, and OCADU Live. Let's give them all a big round of applause. Woo! And I'd also like to thank Hannah Dixon, the Office of the School of Graduate Studies team, and all of the graduate student mentors for making this event such a success. And I think they're all the way back there, so you guys all have to be loud to say thank you. Woo! And of course, not least of all, hello, good morning to you all. And thank you for choosing OCAD and making us your home. I'm really thrilled to see many of your beautiful faces this morning, all expectant, all ready to tackle your 4 years of creative journey. And I'm really excited to get to learn each of your, it's going to be hard, I'm just telling you this, but to get to learn each of your names and all of your faces, putting them both together, and seeing you in the halls, at the exhibitions, and so on. So good morning and welcome. And if you're new to Toronto, a big extra welcome to you all. This fall, we have 1,121 new undergraduate students and 139 new graduate students. And if you just look around, you can almost see that this is about that number, right? So welcome. And this brings our total enrollment on campus to a little more than 5,000 students. So we are the oldest and largest art and design and media university in Canada, and we can see it today. And not only that, but I think we also have to thank our neighbors, the amazing Village by the Grange folks here, because OCAD University is situated smack dab in the best part of Toronto, and you're all living in it. But we're not just alone, right? We're not this kind of bubble. We also engage with our community. So this is really, truly special that we're here taking space up on this road that should be shared with everyone, but they allowed us to be part of this because all of these folks around you, your neighbors and community members, are equally excited to welcome you all to be part of the best art and design university in Canada, if not in North America. So, woo! What's more is that we have close to 1,300 international students representing 88 countries, including China, India, Iran, South Korea, the Philippines, the United States, Vietnam, and more. So I'm really thrilled. We are all thrilled that you chose OCADU. So whether you are new to OCADU or you are returning, remember that you are joining a vibrant and creative community where you can explore, experiment, and experience a wide array of opportunities and participate in activities and events on campus. And I'm just going to highlight a couple of events because they're basically tomorrow. So to highlight just a few, for the second year in a row, OCADU is having a strong presence at this year's Toronto International Film Festival, aka TIFF, beginning on September 5th. And this is what's interesting about being, The best art and design university in the middle of Toronto, you know, kind of one of Canada's largest cities, is that we are integrated into everything else that's going on in this lovely city of ours. So beginning September 5th, OCADU Live, our university's on-demand video channel, production house, and content creation studio, will be on the red carpet interviewing filmmakers and artists. And I saw that you've started interviewing some of the folks already. OCADU Live will also have a tent at street level showcasing screenings of work by students in the experimental animation and integrated media programs. And we're also excited to have a partnership with the Consulate General of France on an exclusive virtual reality exhibition that will be held here on campus at 100 McCall in the Great Hall. How many folks have seen like VR from Cannes Film Festival or any of the major film festivals yet? Can anyone? Okay, so this is your chance. There are 5 incredible VR experiences that are going to be at 100 McCall. Sign up, find out from your OCADU newsletter to check it out. These are made by incredible artists from around the world. This is exclusive. We've never been able to, no one has this relationship, and we're super lucky that Philippe Blanchard of the Experimental Animation Program was able to make this happen. We're also participating in Nuit Blanche on October 5th, so that's just around the corner, with 2 public events. Riparia, co-presented by the university's Global Center for Climate Action and the delegation of the European Union to Canada. And this is a cinematic projection at Canada's malting silos by the water there across from Billy Bishop Airport by Lithuanian artist Emilia Skarnulytė. I think I pronounced that correctly. My apologies if I butchered that last name. And secondly, we're also co-presenting by On-Site Gallery and the Matipso Portal Collective, Matipso Portal, which is a live 12-hour experimental immersive experience called Connection, linking Toronto, Canada, and Matipso, Kenya, for a midnight variety show, special guests, live performance, The Spaceman, and more. So these are just 2 of many, many, many events that are taking place at OCAD that you all should participate in and partake in. Year-round, you can visit OCAD University's 6 remarkable galleries that exhibit art, design, and digital media works by students, alum, and internationally renowned artists, designers, and researchers. An On-Site Gallery, our university's flagship professional gallery, which is just down the street and you kind of do a jog to Richmond, is currently featuring works by artist Jean Marshall. Plus, there's an exhibition featuring the works of 13 artists from the OCADU community that is centered around the theme of language, communication, and cultural heritage, and a unique exhibition by Filipino artist Dr. Karayam, who did a residency at OCADU. So, as you familiarize yourselves with all things OCADU, you may have had the chance to read through our academic and strategic plan and seen our vision of OCADU as a vibrant community of bold, curious, and compassionate artists, designers, and scholars, imagining and creating a joyful, equitable, and sustainable world. Those words, bold, curious, and compassionate, you'll hear often. But what do they mean? Well, the first, to be bold. Creativity thrives on pushing boundaries, going beyond the expected, and challenging norms. Creativity also involves trial and error, taking bold risks, or changing course that can lead to new discoveries or breakthroughs. So this is your chance over the next 4 years to not be afraid to express yourself or experiment or venture into the unknown and fail and then get up again and express yourself, experiment, and venture into the unknown over and over again. It's okay if you don't know where you're going. You just have to keep doing these 3 things, and this community of generous and kind practitioners, which includes all of you, faculty and staff, will help you all along the way. As many pundits and philosophers and writers like Virgil has said in the past, fortune favors the bold. So don't be afraid to take these risks. The second is to be curious. Curiosity is actually an expression of humility. As writer Anin Bojo says, curiosity takes ignorance seriously and is confident enough to admit when it does not know. It is aware of not knowing, and it sets out to do something about it. This acknowledgement of not knowing, but doing something about it by asking questions, by not making assumptions, by being open to continuously learning from evidence, from others, and from experimentation, is critical to building a life filled with wonder and empathy. So don't be afraid to say, I don't know. And then don't be afraid to say, help me. Who are you? How do you think about things? How do I do this? And so on. And finally, my third takeaway is be compassionate with yourself and with one another. You're going to meet new people who are different from you. They will have different perspectives, lived experiences, ideas. So part of what we have to do over the course of the next 4 years, if we want to be bold, if we want to be curious, is to listen also with an open heart and allow others to express themselves without judgment. So practice kindness. You're all incredibly brave for putting yourselves and your work out there. This is very different than other schools, right? Because you're all engaged in continuous creative practice where you will be making work with your own hands and then showing that work to each other, probably beginning tomorrow, and doing that over and over again for the next 4 years. So this is an act of bravery, you choosing to come to OCAD, and it is our commitment to make sure that we continue to create a space where your full potential can be realized and where each of you will flourish in your own ways. But that type of space creation is an act of design, and we have to co-create these spaces together. So it's important that we have to remember to be kind to each other. And we need to be able to challenge our own biases and assumptions. And here at OCAD, you'll have the opportunity to uncover those unconscious biases you might have, and then also reveal things about yourself that you may not have even realized. And in doing so, together we can foster a more joyful, compassionate, and inclusive community. So here's to a fantastic year ahead. I really hope you enjoy today and that this is a harbinger, especially with Elder Liz's beautiful song and beautiful welcome, of the many, many bold, curious, and compassionate days that you will have over the next 4 years. So thank you.
Thank you very much, President Serrano. Please join me in welcoming Ashok Mathur, Vice President, Research and Dean, School of Graduate Studies.
Thank you, Brent. Thank you to you and your organizing team. Thank you, Elder Liz, for that wonderful, wonderful opening, as always. And thank you, President Serrano, for those lively words of introduction. My name is Ashok Mathur, and I'm the Dean of Graduate Studies and Vice President of Research here at OCAD University. I've been here for 7 years. I want to echo Anna's words of welcome to all of you, and a particular shout out to those of you arriving here as international students at both the undergraduate and graduate level. Nearly a quarter of the incoming undergraduate cohort are coming from abroad, and fully half of the graduate students are international. It's already being a momentous journey for you, from waiting for study permits, landing at Pearson Airport for what many of you is your first football in Canada, and embarking on a new life in a new city, in a new country. I was born in India, and my parents immigrated with their young family to Canada decades ago. I know how every step is a challenge, how every choice you make is an adventure, and I applaud you for it. I also take a moment to recognize that each of you standing here is, as an incoming student, brings with you a wealth of history and identity. You may be an Indigenous student from the territories in which we stand on, or from any number of communities across the land. You may be a racialized student who has grown up right here in Toronto or moved here as I did from distant lands. You may identify as gender fluid. You may identify as part of an LGBTQ community. You may have grown up in a small town or rural area anywhere in the world. You may be the first person in your family to go to university or the first person to go to a dedicated art and design post-secondary. You may move your body or use your senses or learn differently than your peers. And through all of this, you know that who you are sometimes presents challenges, but always offers opportunities. You bring all of yourself to OCAD, not to fit into a structure that is predetermined by course schedules and program requirements, but to help mold and shape the space so you can be the creative thinkers and makers that brought you here in the first place. There will always be someone missing from each incoming cohort. There is always an empty chair in the circle. But together we can bring in those absent bodies in as we wend our way into the future. This is our job together and a promise we can share. In just a few minutes, I'll have the pleasure of addressing students incoming to one of our 6 graduate programs just down the street next to On-Site Gallery at 205 Richmond. And as an aside, and perhaps in 4 years' time, I'll be welcoming into the School of Graduate Studies some of you who are starting your bachelor's today. 205 is where you find our always active graduate gallery, buzzing with shows throughout the year, up to and including some of our Masters of Fine Arts and Masters of Design thesis exhibitions, which also populate one of the other 6 galleries that Anna mentioned, and city galleries in the spring. 205 is also where we house all our graduate programs and much of our active faculty research. And later in the fall, you'll have the opportunity to see what goes on in those research centers and studios. Our school is renowned for its research in art and design, and this affords a multitude of opportunities for you as you learn, grow, study, and practice here. I want to close by once again echoing President Serrano, imploring you to be bold, curious, and above all, compassionate. Welcome to your life here at OCADU.
Thank you, Dean Mathur. I would like to just take a moment to ask you to acknowledge our upper year students, our volunteers today, your orientation leaders and volunteers. And when you engage with them, please acknowledge them also, as they are here to help make today great. And someday they will be you. With support from your team captains, you are now going to participate in 4 different concurrent activities. And the routes that you all will be taking to and from these routes may indeed involve going up and down stairs to the 1st and 2nd floor. So by all means, if you are challenged by stairs or what have you, do not hesitate to let your team captains know so that they can help you get from station to station, from activity to activity. So I'm going to leave it up to your team captains now to carefully and methodically lead your awesome teams to your concurrent activities where there are other people waiting for you. And for those of you, the rest of you, the O-Team volunteers who have been supporting you right now, you're next going to help me get ready for this afternoon. So please come over and join me at one of these OCADU tents. So enjoy your day.